Hey everyone, I'm Dan and welcome to Disney Decoded. The American Adventure is one of the most skipped attractions at EPCOT. Guests walk right past it on their way to Frozen Ever After or Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, assuming it's just a slow history lesson with some animatronics. But here's what they're missing. While you're watching the Boston Tea Party turn into the signing of the Declaration of Independence in front of your eyes, there is a 175-ton machine the size of a small building moving underneath the stage to make it happen. And it has a nickname most guests have never heard of. Today we're decoding the engineering hiding directly beneath your seat at one of Epcot's most underrated shows. The American Adventure opened with Epcot on October 1st, 1982, and it took Disney Imagineers 5 years to complete. Longer than almost anything else in the park at that time. The building itself was designed to look like a Georgian colonial mansion inspired by places like Colonial Williamsburg and Independence Hall. Disney called it the People's Mansion, but the building is hiding its own trick before you even sit down. It uses forced perspective to make a structure that is actually 5 stories tall appear to be only 2.5 stories from the outside. You walk in through a domed rotunda filled with artwork and quotes from American history, climb a long ramp that slopes up and then back down, and take your seat in the Liberty Theater, a 360-degree theater that holds up to 1,200 guests. And from the moment the lights dim, almost nothing you're seeing is what it appears to be. And here's the part almost nobody knows about. There are 10 separate, fully detailed sets used throughout the 30-minute show. You watch them appear and disappear seamlessly, one after another, like a movie cutting between scenes. Except none of it is a cut. It's all happening live in real time, right in front of you. The reason you enter the theater from the second floor instead of the ground floor is the first clue. Almost the entire ground level beneath your seats is hollow, built specifically to store those massive sets and the majority of the 35 Audio-Animatronic figures that perform throughout the show. Moving all that into position is the job of a single computer-controlled machine Disney Imagineers nicknamed the War Wagon. It measures roughly 65 feet by 35 feet by 14 feet and weighs 175 tons. As one set finishes its scene and rises out of view, the War Wagon slides to the next position underneath the stage almost simultaneously. So by the time your eyes adjust to the new scene, the entire set lighting rig and animatronic cast are already in place. You're not watching a series of separate scenes. You're watching one continuous performance built around a 175-ton mechanism doing the equivalent of a stage crew's entire job in complete silence underneath your feet in real time. Nuts! Here's something Disney itself only recently revealed publicly. You'd assume a figure as detailed as George Washington requires an enormous range of complex animatronic motion to feel believable. It doesn't. According to Disney's own behind-the-scenes breakdown, the Washington figure actually performs relatively few physical motions on its own. Instead, much of what makes the character feel alive is a large fan positioned to blow across the scene, creating a subtle movement in his clothing and the surrounding environment around him. That added environmental motion is enough to trick your eye into reading the entire scene as far more dynamic and lifelike than the animatronic itself is actually doing. It's the same philosophy Disney uses throughout the show. Combine a moderate amount of mechanical movement with the right lighting, the right projection, and the right environmental effect, and your brain fills in the rest. You don't need every figure to move constantly. You need it to move at exactly the right moments. Before you ever sit down for the show, the building is already telling you a story. The rotunda you walk through is filled with paintings created by Disney Imagineers themselves. And several of those paintings are signed with the names of real Imagineers who worked on the attraction, hidden in plain sight among the historical artwork. It's the same kind of quiet tribute you'll find scattered throughout Disney parks, except here it's painted directly into the walls of a building most guests walk through without ever slowing down to look. The American Adventure is easy to write off as the slow, educational show at Epcot. It's anything but that. It took 5 years to build. It runs on a 175-ton machine nicknamed the War Wagon that swaps 10 massive sets in and out beneath your seat in complete silence. And some of its most convincing animatronic performances are created with nothing more than a strategically placed fan. Next time you're walking past the theater on your way to a dark ride, remember there's a building sized machine working underneath that stage that most guests will never know exists. Have you ever actually sat through the American Adventure, or is it one you've skipped? Let me know in the comments, and be sure you're subscribed with notifications on, and you'll see me in the next one. Bye.